One of the ways in which to drive patronage up is to understand what's happening on the network. So it's important to be able to monitor what your operators who are, essentially they're operating your network on behalf of you. So it's important to know what they're doing. That at the moment is a big challenge for local authorities because they don't have the means to easily get the data that they need to understand what operators are doing. So for an example, an operator needs to record or go back to local authority and say, has this trip been missed? So they might be really great at recording where a full trip's been missed because it just hasn't run. However, what's equally as important is, did every stop on that trip actually operate? So if an operator loses mileage because of traffic congestion or because the bus broke down, that trip in theory may have run because the first part ran. But actually the second part of that trip might have the most patronage, and it's actually where that has the most sort of benefit to the people. So being able to see from data that that operator didn't actually operate the part of the journey that they're tendered to is quite an important metric as an example. So the key challenge from a local authority perspective, and also from an operator, is to understand what they're doing and point them in the direction of where those issues are. So an example that I just said was being able to see if a full trip has actually operated, but another one is what are your customers saying on the network? So do you have a way of properly analysing what your customers are feeding back to you? And it's not just the negatives you need to look at, it's the positives as well. So I think that's a key thing that local authorities and operators can both do, is to try and understand the data. So you have the one side where you have this data and you want to be able to understand it, but then you have the other half, which is it's all siloed at the moment. You have customer services data, which is recorded by a central team. You have operational data, which is on the operator side, but from an operator and local authority perspective, how does that data get from operator to local authority to understand that? And putting those two data sets together. So you're having really great positive feedback on the network, but actually from a reliability perspective, it's quite low, what's the reason for that? Are you doing something right that makes the reliability impact lessen? Being able to see where those trends are, essentially. So that links into our contract performance module, which takes data from all these different sources to collate it into one operational platform. So the local authority can see from the data, each operator has an overall score, and be able to bench each operator on their contracted network equally, so that you're not unfairly judging one operator. That also gives the ability for the operator to see how they're doing and help the operator understand what on the contracted service are they not running as they should be. And then in turn, the local authority and operator can work together to put a plan in place to improve that network, and that will in turn drive patronage